So we have to solve these following quadratic equations. First thing you need to do is actually factor these things. So the question is, what will add to give you a -5, but multiply to give you a -14? This is a negative number, and so is this one right here. So that tells us we need two numbers. One's negative and one's positive, and the bigger one's probably going to be negative. In this case, what we have here is -7 times a +2 will give you a -14. And if you add those together, that should get you a -5. So in brackets, you're going to have x minus 7 and x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now again, we have to set each one of these brackets up separately and solve for x. So x minus 7 is equal to 0, and we've got x plus 2 is equal to 0. So add 7 over here, add 7 over here, x is equal to 7. Over here we're going to subtract 2, and we're going to subtract 2 over here, so now you have as x is equal to -2. So your roots here are going to be 7 and -2. For b, we have 4x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. Cool part about that is 4 and 25 are both perfect squares. So this here is a difference of squares. Essentially, when we factor this out, it's going to look like 2x minus 5, 2x plus 5, because of course there's no bx in the middle. So these are equal to 0, and so we need to solve this for x. Alright, so work with each bracket separately. You've got 2x minus 5 is equal to 0, and you've got 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. Add your 5 over here. Add your 5, so you got 2x is equal to 5, divide that by 2, divide that by 2, x is equal to 5 over 2. Over here, you're going to subtract that 5, and then you're going to subtract that 5, so you got 2x is equal to -5, divide that by 2, divide that by 2, x is equal to -5 over 2. Next up, we got 10x squared minus 90x is equal to 0. If it helps, one thing you might find useful is to take out anything that's common first off before you do any major factoring. In this case, you got 10x squared minus 90x. You can take a 10x out of both of those. So 10x, and in brackets, well, now you're left with an x, because 10x squared divided by 10x is just x. And we've got -90x divided by 10x, that's going to be 9. And this is equal to 0. So taking a look at this, in order for this to be 0, 10x is equal to 0. Divide that by 10. Divide that by 10. Obviously, 0 divided by 10, that's just 0. X is equal to 0 here. Over here, we've got x minus 9 is equal to 0. Add your 9 over here. Add your 9 over here. X is equal to 9. So your roots here are going to be 0 and 9. Last but not least, we have 10x squared minus 90. This time around we can't take the x out, but you certainly can take a 10 out, which will leave you x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. This one right here, if you notice, is a difference of squares. So that's going to be x plus 3 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. This 10 doesn't really have a bearing on this. The key here are these two brackets. So x plus 3 is equal to 0, and x minus 3 is equal to 0. So subtract your 3 over here, subtract your 3 over here, so x is equal to -3. Over here you're going to add your 3 and add your 3. So x is equal to 3. So these are your roots for that particular question.